this bill will have dangerous and unintended consequences, particularly on children. And this is my main concern, and I'm not the only one in this House. In Australia, where such a law has been passed, parents now live in fear of being charged for simply trying to get mental health support for their vulnerable children. In the UK, we hear of therapists being unwilling to see children presenting gender distress for fear of malicious complaints and professional investigations. In short, this bill will force people to simply nod along to whatever a child with gender dysphoria says. This would let down vulnerable children who need to properly talk through their mental states and emotions, rather than being mindlessly put on a path which may not be the right thing for them. We know that during puberty, many children feel that they do not conform to sex stereotypes, but it does not mean that this feeling will last. Many studies confirm that gender dysphoria does not persist in most children past puberty. Some children feel at odds with their body as a result of sexual abuse, autism, bullying, or any multitude of social or psychological problems. These children need help rather than embark on life-changing and irreversible surgery with enormous health risks. Nothing exemplifies this better than Carabelle's experiences, as Baroness Eaton mentioned before. She was put on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormone when she was an adolescent. At 20, she underwent a double mastectomy. But none of these procedures helped her. Instead, she became more depressed as blockers stopped her periods and sent her into menopause, and the surgery only made it clear that she could never achieve what she had fantasized as a child. As she said, it was nothing more than a conveyor belt. At 22, she decided to detransition. Today, 5 years on, she's living in constant turmoil, struggling to reintegrate into society as a woman with a man's voice, facial and bodily hair, and no breast. What she needed was therapy, support, and time to come to terms with her body. Instead, her body was mutilated, and I quote her again, "If only someone had provided me with therapy and thoroughly explored my thoughts when I was a teenager, I could have been spared the trauma, and I could now be living a normal and fulfilled life." As you can imagine, she is strongly opposed to this bill. She argues that it would reinforce gender and affirmation care that let her down so badly.